Foundations of Bitcoin. Introduction to the module. Bitcoin has transformed the financial landscape since its inception, establishing itself as a groundbreaking alternative to traditional currency. With over 60% of the cryptocurrency market share, Bitcoin is not just a digital currency, but also a recognized asset, prompting institutional investment and mainstream adoption. This module will explore the foundations of Bitcoin, including its origins, the underlying blockchain technology, the role of cryptography, and how it compares to traditional currency. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to define Bitcoin and understand its key characteristics, explain the origins and development of Bitcoin, describe blockchain technology and its role in securing Bitcoin transactions, differentiate between Bitcoin and traditional currency, assess the current significance of Bitcoin in the economy. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency, also known as cryptocurrency, created in 2009 by an unknown person or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Unlike traditional money, Bitcoin operates without a central authority, relying instead on a decentralized network of computers. Transactions are verified by network nodes through cryptography and recorded on a public ledger called a blockchain, which ensures transparency and security. Bitcoin's unique features include a limited supply of 21 million coins, making it resistant to inflation. It's designed to be a peer-to-peer payment system, allowing users to send funds directly to one another without intermediaries like banks. Bitcoin has gained attention as both a form of currency and a store of value, with supporters often calling it digital gold. Origins of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's origins trace back to the 2008 global financial crisis, a time of profound economic instability and distrust in traditional financial systems. During this period, on 31st October 2008, an unknown individual or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The document proposed a new form of digital currency that would operate outside the control of banks and governments, addressing issues such as inflation, financial exclusion, and reliance on centralized institutions. Bitcoin was revolutionary in its design. Nakamoto's concept of a decentralized digital currency relied on cryptographic principles to establish trust between users. Unlike prior digital cash attempts, Bitcoin didn't need a central server or intermediary to verify transactions. Instead, it introduced the concept of blockchain, a public distributed ledger where every transaction is recorded across a network of computers or nodes. This innovation enabled Bitcoin to prevent issues like double spending, where digital money could theoretically be spent more than once, and thus ensured transaction integrity. Bitcoin's initial appeal lay with cryptographers, computer scientists, and early adopters interested in financial privacy and independence. As the first truly decentralized digital currency, Bitcoin rapidly gained momentum, sparking discussions on its potential to disrupt financial systems. Since then, Bitcoin has evolved from a niche concept into a global phenomenon, fundamentally altering perceptions of money, privacy, and trust. While Nakamoto vanished from the public eye in 2011, their invention continues to influence finance, technology, and society worldwide. Understanding blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is the foundational innovation behind Bitcoin, enabling it to function as a secure, decentralized, and transparent digital currency. This revolutionary technology is essentially a distributed ledger, recording all Bitcoin transactions across a network of computers, nodes, that work together to maintain data integrity and consensus. Structure of the blockchain. At its core, a blockchain is a series of blocks, each containing a list of transactions. Once a block is filled with data, it's cryptographically linked to the previous block, forming a continuous chain, hence the term blockchain. Each new block strengthens the security of prior blocks, creating a highly tamper-resistant structure. If anyone tried to alter a single transaction, it would require changing all subsequent blocks, an almost impossible feat on a decentralized network. Decentralization and trust. Unlike traditional systems where a central authority validates transactions, blockchain operates on a peer-to-peer network of nodes, each maintaining a copy of the entire blockchain. This decentralization means no single entity controls the network. Instead, consensus algorithms, specifically Bitcoin's proof of work, POW, ensure agreement across nodes. Decentralization makes Bitcoin resilient to attacks and interference, allowing it to operate independently of banks or governments. Transparency and security. Blockchain's transparency is a key feature, as every transaction is visible to the entire network. Once recorded, transactions cannot be altered, ensuring that Bitcoin's history is always open for audit. To add a transaction, miners, specialized nodes, solve complex cryptographic puzzles to validate and add blocks. This POW mechanism ensures that each transaction is secured through encryption, making it exceedingly difficult for malicious actors to alter the blockchain. Security is further enhanced through cryptographic hashing. Each block contains a unique digital fingerprint called a hash, linking it to the previous block. This hashing process, combined with the decentralized structure, makes blockchain inherently secure and resistant to tampering. Applications beyond Bitcoin. While originally developed to power Bitcoin, blockchain's attributes, decentralization, transparency, and security, have led to applications in diverse fields, including supply chain management, healthcare, and financial services. This technology's potential to revolutionize industries continues to be explored, positioning blockchain as one of the most significant innovations of the 21st century. Cryptography, public and private keys. Cryptography is essential to Bitcoin, enabling secure, trustless transactions through a system of public and private keys. These keys are cryptographic pairs that allow users to send and receive Bitcoin securely, without requiring third-party validation. Public key. This is a user's unique identifier on the Bitcoin network, much like an account number. It is derived from the private key and is safe to share with others. The public key allows others to send Bitcoin to that user. Private key. The private key is a confidential code that proves ownership of the Bitcoin associated with a specific public key. It's essentially a password, granting the user the ability to access, spend, or transfer their Bitcoin. The private key must be kept secret. If it's lost or exposed, the user risks losing control of their Bitcoin permanently. These keys work together using asymmetric encryption, meaning the private key can decrypt what the public key encrypts, ensuring secure and verifiable transactions. The system eliminates the need for trust between parties, as only those with the correct private key can authorize transactions. This cryptographic approach is fundamental to Bitcoin's security and autonomy in a decentralized environment. Bitcoin versus traditional currency. Bitcoin and traditional currency, also known as fiat currency, differ significantly in structure, function, and control. Here's a comparison of their key characteristics. Control and issuance. Bitcoin is decentralized, created through a process called mining, by individuals participating in the network. Traditional currency is centralized, issued and regulated by governments and central banks. Supply limit. Bitcoin has a cap supply of 21 million coins, which creates a deflationary environment. Traditional currency has no fixed limit. Central banks can print more money as needed, often leading to inflation. Physical form. Bitcoin exists solely in digital form, with no physical notes or coins. Traditional currency can be both physical, cash and coins, and digital, bank deposits and electronic transfers. Value backing. Bitcoin derives its value from market demand and scarcity, functioning independently of any physical asset. Traditional currency is backed by government authority and economic policy, often linked to the country's overall economic performance. Transparency and security. Bitcoin transactions are recorded on a public blockchain, ensuring transparency and security through cryptographic techniques. Traditional currency transactions are managed through centralized banking systems where records are not publicly accessible, relying on institutional trust. Transaction costs. Bitcoin transactions typically incur lower fees, although they can fluctuate based on network activity. Traditional currency transactions may involve higher fees, particularly for international transfers and currency conversions. Inflation. Bitcoin is designed to be deflationary due to its limited supply, making it less susceptible to inflationary pressures. Traditional currency is often subject to inflation, as central banks can increase supply to stimulate economic activity. Transfer speed. Bitcoin transactions can be completed quickly, particularly for cross-border payments, often within minutes. Traditional currency transfers, especially internationally, can take longer due to the involvement of intermediaries and various banking systems. Accessibility. Bitcoin can be accessed globally through the internet, requiring a digital wallet and an internet connection. Traditional currency is accessible through banks, ATMs, and physical cash, but may be limited by geographic and infrastructural factors. Bitcoin in today's economy. Bitcoin, the first and most widely recognized cryptocurrency, has become a significant player in today's economic landscape. Its rise reflects broader trends in digital finance, as more individuals and institutions seek alternatives to traditional banking and investment systems. The growing acceptance of Bitcoin presents both opportunities and challenges for consumers, businesses, and regulators alike. Growing adoption. Bitcoin has gained significant traction as a legitimate asset class, with increasing acceptance by individuals and businesses alike. Major companies, including Tesla and PayPal, have begun integrating Bitcoin into their payment systems, showcasing its potential as a medium of exchange. This growing adoption reflects a shift in consumer attitudes towards cryptocurrencies, driven by their perceived benefits, such as lower transaction costs and faster payments. Investment and speculation. In addition to being a means of payment, Bitcoin is increasingly viewed as a store of value, often referred to as digital gold. Many investors consider it a hedge against inflation and economic instability, contributing to a surge in institutional investment. Hedge funds and publicly traded companies have added Bitcoin to their portfolios, further legitimizing it as an investment vehicle. Regulatory landscape. As Bitcoin continues to evolve, governments around the world are grappling with how to regulate it. In the UK, regulators are establishing frameworks to ensure consumer protection and prevent illicit activities, while still fostering innovation. The regulatory environment will play a crucial role in determining Bitcoin's future impact on the economy. Highlights from this module. From this module, you have learned the following points. Bitcoin is a digital currency created in 2009 by an unknown person or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Transactions are verified by network nodes through cryptography and recorded on a public ledger called a blockchain, which ensures transparency and security. Bitcoin's origins trace back to the 2008 global financial crisis, addressing issues such as inflation, financial exclusion, and reliance on centralized institutions. Blockchain technology is the foundational innovation behind Bitcoin, enabling it to function as a secure, decentralized, and transparent digital currency. Bitcoin has gained significant traction as a legitimate asset class, with increasing acceptance by individuals and businesses alike. Thank you. You have successfully made it to the end of this module.